Will Cain, co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend. So, Will, there is no surprise that when you take the money away to hire cops, you'll get fewer of them because you've taken the money away to hire cops, and crime will spike. So what do you say to people like Ilhan Omar?
That, quite honestly, you're a parasite feeding off of a host until that host will ultimately die. You know, I think about this, and we have disagreements within our political spectrum, Harris. And, you know, once you start going down the path of attacking the person ad hominem, you're not really doing anything to help solve the problem, and you're probably indulging in your base instincts. But you have to also be real about this, that the current policies that have been advocated for by not just Ilhan Omar, but a good chunk of the left over the past couple of years have been sort of the moral preening of someone who looks in the mirror and likes what they see back, regardless of the effects of their action. That's parasitic. That is killing the host. What that means specifically is you're looking at violent crime up 24 to 29%. You heard Mike say 29% in Minnesota over the past couple of years. So all of these policies, and it's not just defund, you played it in her own words, dismantle, which she didn't get accomplished to its full extent. What that means is she's preening, she's gathering some votes, although fewer and fewer, it should be pointed out, and she's winning, unfortunately, and she's getting national fame and Twitter likes, and she'll get high fives and probably some defense in support of this segment or against my criticism in this segment. But what she's really doing is feeding off of her community, black and brown, and on average, poor socioeconomically. She is feeding like a parasite off of that community while they literally die in increasing numbers. I'm sorry, but that's not simply that we have a political disagreement. That is a real parasite on our political system.
You mentioned where she is politically, too, and I said she just barely eked out a primary win over a more moderate candidate. We'll see what happens there with her. In Democrat-led Chicago this weekend, though, we're going to move to this now, Will, because these numbers have been staggering for a long time. I just don't understand why there are not people out in the streets protesting this. All lives matter, Black Lives Matter, Chicago, anybody, crickets? 63 people were shot. 9 were killed, including a 3-year-old girl. So far this year, the city has seen 497 people murdered and more than 2,100 shootings. And despite all of that, Illinois is pressing forward with its new soft on crime policy that eliminates cash bail for certain crimes. Gianno Caldwell, you know, our Fox colleague, whose brother was murdered in Chicago just recently, is going after this new law. Watch.
They're calling it criminal justice reform, but I would argue it's justice for the criminal. This needs to end. This isn't about Democrat or Republican anymore. It's about humanity, and things need to change in Cook County.
Will.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, Harris. It's like you advocate for these policies in order to project, on the most shallow level, the ability to get high fives, meaning votes, or to feel better about yourself and say, oh, I'm not racist in some way, because it all boils down to racial disparities. But the fact of the matter is, in the end, there are stories at the end of this policy, and it's like that of Gianno, whose brother is killed. And sadly, that's one of thousands, and almost all of them are black and brown. So you're killing the people in increasing numbers that you're purporting to represent. By the way, that no cash bail in Chicago, what will happen will be it will turn, in a lot of cases, over to the judges who are overwhelmingly of the ideology that you and I are talking about, that I'm attempting to lay out. So those judges that are in Cook County will turn these criminals back onto the streets. And this, by the way, recidivism is at the key, at the heart of this. These same guys do the same thing over and over. Same gangs, same criminals, over and over and over. That's right. So they're in, they're out, and this just empowers the judges to push them back out.
I thought it was really, intriguing and very thoughtful the way that Gianno put this, because he's still really hurting. And what he's saying is that it isn't about criminal justice reform, that these soft on crime, more liberal DAs and politicians are going after. They want justice for the people who are willing to kill us. And I'm just wondering, why is there that imbalance? Why can't they see it? Is there something that I'm missing?
Yes, justice for the criminal or the alleged criminal, and no compassion for the victim of the crime. what we have is an ideology, and I think it's important to say ideology, emboldened or embodied by one political party, but probably even bigger than that political party to some extent, that focuses constantly on the perpetrator of the crime as the victim and not the actual victim of the crime.
Yes. Yes. All right. New numbers in the closely watched governor's race in Georgia. Well, this got interesting in a hurry. Governor Brian Kemp, Republican, has expanded his lead over his Democrat challenger, Stacey Abrams. New polling showing him up by 8 points now. So that would be outside of any margin of error that we're watching. A new video shared by the RNC shows Stacey Abrams speaking to an audience in Atlanta, Georgia this week, making this wild claim about ultrasound machines. She's not a doctor. Let's watch. Nope, nope, nope. We don't have it. So what she says is that you cannot hear a heartbeat, a fetal heartbeat at 6 weeks. And what doctors will say is that between 5 to 7 weeks is where that happens. She's not a doctor. And to go further, she says that it was a made-up situation, that it could happen on an ultrasound at 6 weeks, made up by men. So she's blaming you, Will Cain.
So you know, I'm smiling because I knew where you were going with this. I've seen the clip in the video. You have the words up on the screen right now, where this is, to be clear, and I'm going to explain what she had to say, but why don't we just characterize it first? This is QAnon plus level of conspiracy. She says that ultrasound machines were a conspiracy made up by men to control women's bodies, that ultrasound machines that can hear a fetal heartbeat at 6 weeks are simply a conspiracy. She says it's not true. You can't hear a heartbeat, and the machine is lying to you because the machine has been designed by men in order to control women's bodies. I want to be clear. The machine and medicine are, in Stacey Abrams' estimation, conspiracies against women. And this is someone that you're supposed to take seriously in a gubernatorial race for Georgia. Or I don't know, hasn't she been on the cover of Time magazine and been put forward as a potential presidential candidate at one point? This is who, by the way, is one of the biggest election deniers in American history of the last couple of years. This is the pot calling the kettle black. This is the conspiracy theorist calling others conspiracy theorists. And she just keeps giving you new evidence of that, whether or not it's election denial or now ultrasound machines that are part of the conspiracy.
Wow. It's interesting, but you know, the number that counts right now is that 8-point differential between her and the Republican, and there are now 47 days left to go until the midterm election. She better jump Skippy, get with it if she thinks she can make up that gap. Will Cain, thank you. Good to see you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.